Vox asks, is it time we started adding lithium to water supply? Progressive media outlet Vox is questioning whether the US should start adding lithium to the public's water supply. In an article entitled How Our Drinking Water Could Help Prevent Suicide, this is straight out of my books, that this will be the excuse. Vox highlights psychiatry professor Nasir Ghami and his claims that the practice will be beneficial to the American populace. High lithium areas, he said, have suicide rates 50 to 60% lower than those with low lithium rates, citing a study co-authored by Ghami. I'm sure we shouldn't question that. And the idea is that what lithium does is it basically makes you placid. And I think, whatever people say about cannabis, the fact that it's now being played out to become, more acceptable to use without law enforcement consequences, I think that's also part of this. They are trying to, and you can add lithium in the water and the wider use of and availability of cannabis with this attack on toxic masculinity. They're all about, hey, chill, man. And yeah, there are times to chill, man. And if people want to use cannabis, well, as long as they don't force it on anyone else, good luck to you. But look at the consequences of chill, man. Do people who are chilling, man, are they going to stand up to what is happening? Or are they just going to say, hey, man, chill out? And the idea of the lithium in the water is to get people in a state of, basically subservience. Basically, in a state not of calmness, but of inactiveness. And like I say, that was in my books a long time ago, that was the agenda, and here we are now. It's coming out. Now, here's another story subject I've been writing about for a long time, and that's these smart cities, where they're all the whole city and everything in it, right down to every device, is controlled by artificial intelligence, i.e. controlled by that which controls artificial intelligence. Not that necessarily control of artificial intelligence is going to be something that will go on forever when artificial intelligence takes the control itself. But this is the story. City of Surveillance. Google-backed smart city sounds like a dystopian nightmare. It is, and it's meant to be, as I've been writing all these years. A Google-backed project to build the interconnected, data-driven city of the future sounds like all Orwell's nightmares come true. Well, yes, because he knew what was coming. And he's now in the spotlight after a privacy expert resigned from the project in protest. Toronto's waterfront district used to be an industrial wasteland, but Sidewalk Labs, a sister company of Google's got so many subsidiaries. It's into everything. It's a monster, just like Amazon. So this Sidewalk Labs, a sister company of Google, wants to turn wasteland into a prototype city of the future where data helps planners micromanage every aspect of urban life. The planned Quayside neighborhood will house 5,000 people when built, expanding to host another 5,000 within 3 to 4 years, the creators say. In running the neighborhood as efficiently as possible, Sidewalk Labs will utilize a range of technologies. Sensors will manage street crowds and time traffic signals appropriately. Cameras will watch over parks and public spaces. Planners will be able to track the movement of every vehicle, person and drone. And garbage cans will monitor their owner's trash to optimize waste management. Yeah, and find them All of these data points will be fed into a database Sidewalk Labs calls its digital layer, used by planners to monitor and tweak the neighborhood's running, and then stored in a repository it calls the Civic Data Trust. I mean, this is all kind of absolutely Orwellian. Nobody will own the data stored in the trust, and the trust board will decide who can access it. In other words, the trust board will effectively own the data, you silly people. Of course they are, if they're deciding who sees it or not. Well, what's that but an owner? That's where the problems begin, the story said. Sidewalk Labs privacy consultant Anne Kavakian had requested that the company scrub the residents' data of all personal information, a request that Sidewalk Labs agreed to. However, the company said it would not require other parties with access to the trust to de-identify any data collected. It would only encourage them to. When I heard that, I said, I'm sorry, I can't support this. I have to resign because you committed to embedding privacy by design into every aspect of your operation, Kavakian told Global News before severing her ties with the company on Friday. Furthermore, Sidewalk Labs will allow third parties to build apps that plug into the digital layer, potentially giving them access to residents' most intimate information, your every move, your shopping list, the places you frequent, the events you attend, and even the contents of your trash could all be fair game for third-party developers. Kavakian called the visionary project a city of surveillance, but she is not the only expert who finds the plan terrifying. Former BlackBerry CEO, I pushed this thing far too far down. Former BlackBerry CEO Jim Basile called the project a colonizing experiment in surveillance capitalism. And Tech Girls Canada founder Zaidia Muzaffar left her role on a Sidewalk Labs advisory panel earlier this month, saying she had profound concerns about the company's lack of leadership regarding shaky public trust. And why should, the article says, the public trust a Google-connected company with its data? Google already keeps extensive records on its users, every journey made with an Android phone, every YouTube video watched, data from every app downloaded, and sound and images from laptop microphones and cameras are all available to the tech giant by default. All this data is kept by Google, unless, of course, the government requests that Google hands it over, which US government agencies have done 20,000 times in the first half of 2018, with over 80% of requests fulfilled. So that is what I've been warning about. And that's what they mean by smart cities.